Welcome back, Focus Learners. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today for another explainer. So today we're going to unpack a really fascinating piece of traditional folklore. It's a classic Khmer fable known as the tiger and the wolf. Now, on the surface, this might just seem like a simple little story about a couple of animals in the woods, but as we break down the source text today, we're going to discover a brilliant, highly structured anatomy of deception. It is literally a masterclass in psychology, manipulation, and, well, ultimate consequences. So, I want you to think about this. What actually happens when cunning manipulates raw power? It's a totally universal conflict, right? I mean, we see this dynamic play out constantly in history, in business, and definitely in our daily lives. Today's explainer takes us deep into the forest to watch this exact power struggle play out in real time. We've got brute, undeniable strength on one side and deceptive, calculating intelligence on the other. So who actually wins? And honestly, more importantly, what's the true long-term cost of that victory?
All right, section 1, strength versus cunning. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this by establishing our key players, setting up the archetypal contrast for our story. Over here on the left, we have the tiger. He represents sheer strength and undeniable bravery. Actually, he's the apex predator, and he rules his domain entirely by physical force. He doesn't need to be subtle, and he certainly doesn't need to lie, because his power is just absolute. Now on the right, we have the wolf. The wolf is highly intelligent, but instead of using that brainpower for honest work, he channels it into trickery and manipulation. The text explicitly tells us that the wolf strongly prefers using schemes to get what he wants, rather than relying on, direct effort. So it's a classic setup. The overt dominance and immense pride of the tiger going up against the covert, calculating, opportunistic nature of the wolf.
Moving on to section 2, the clever deception.
Our source material sets the scene perfectly for us here. One day, the cunning wolf is just wandering through the forest and spots the powerful tiger with this massive, freshly caught deer. The wolf desperately wants that prize. But he's smart enough to know that challenging the tiger to a direct fight, that's a guaranteed death sentence. So the wolf has to engineer a situation where the tiger willingly leaves his hard-earned food behind. Step 1, spot the prize, that big deer. Step 2, and this is where the absolute genius of the manipulation lies, invent a phantom rival. Step 3 is the psychological trigger. Attack the tiger's immense pride using that fake rival. And finally, step 4, swoop in and steal the prize while the big guy is distracted. It's a highly calculated, carefully layered strategy designed to bypass physical combat entirely. Basically, the wolf is playing chess while the tiger is stuck playing checkers.
And here is the exact lie the wolf uses, straight from the fable's text. He says, "Brother Tiger, I just heard that there is another tiger at the edge of the forest, saying he is stronger than you and will come to take your territory." This is quite frankly a mathematically perfect lie. Why? Because it brilliantly targets the tiger's ultimate vulnerability. See, the tiger isn't afraid of losing a physical fight, no way. But his entire identity, his whole ego, is completely wrapped up in being the strongest ruler of the forest. The wolf doesn't threaten the tiger's life, he threatens his status. It's just a masterful manipulation of ego.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how terrifyingly effective targeted manipulation can be in the short term. The furious tiger completely abandons his prize just to go hunt a ghost. The trick works flawlessly. Overcome by blind anger and wounded pride, the tiger rushes off to the edge of the forest to defend his title, leaving that massive deer entirely unguarded. The wolf gets exactly what he wanted, a free meal, without lifting a single paw in combat. Which brings us to section 3, the inevitable discovery.
Well, the fundamental problem with a lie is that it has a very, very short shelf life. Finding absolutely no rival at the edge of the forest, the illusion shatters almost instantly. Realizing he's been played for an absolute fool, the tiger sprints back to his kill, and right there, he catches the wolf happily feasting on his meat. The harsh reality of the deception is laid completely bare, and the source text gives us this chilling, furious confrontation. The tiger just growls, "Do you dare to trick me?" I mean, imagine the pure, unadulterated rage of the apex predator, realizing a lesser animal has made a total mockery of him. The fable notes that the wolf is immediately gripped by terror. He's trembling, shaking, desperately trying to invent excuses and weave new lies to save his skin. But it is entirely too late. His words fall on absolutely deaf ears. The curtain has been pulled back, and the wolf's true nature is exposed for good.
That leads us right into section 4, the cost of lies. I want you to pause for a second and think about the real-world equivalence of this exact scenario.
How often do we see people, maybe in business, in politics, or even in our own personal circles, seeking those short-term, ill-gotten gains? They pull a fast one to get ahead for a day, completely ignoring the permanent damage they're doing to their character and their future. Rather than simply destroying the wolf on the spot, the tiger delivers this profoundly wise judgment. Those who use tricks to exploit others may succeed for a while, but eventually they will reap the consequences of their actions. It perfectly encapsulates the fleeting nature of manipulation. Yes, the wolf succeeded. He got to eat some of the deer. But that success was measured in mere minutes, while the consequences he was about to face, those were going to last a lifetime.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real tragedy of the wolf's short-sighted strategy. Just look at this timeline. Minute 1, he's feasting on the deer, totally convinced he's the smartest animal in the entire forest. Minute 5, he's confronted by a furious tiger, his life flashing before his eyes. And then, the ultimate consequence, forever, living in total isolation. His momentary clever little victory decays incredibly rapidly into absolute eternal ruin. Finally, Section 5, the ultimate lesson. Taking a step back from the tigers and wolves of the forest for a second, the source material is really holding a mirror up to human behavior. It's a grounded, deeply philosophical look at how society actually functions and the invisible glue that holds it all together. Trust is a vital social currency. The text explicitly states that honesty and trust are far, far more valuable than anything gained through lies or tricks. Because of this single, calculated deception, word spread quickly. The other animals in the forest learned exactly what the wolf had done to the tiger, and from that day forward, no one ever believed a single word he said again. He was left to live in permanent isolation. Without trust, you have no community, no support, and no real security. The deer meat was gone in an afternoon, but the loss of that trust, that was forever.
Which leads me to leave you with a rather provocative question today. How much do you value your own reputation? When the opportunity pops up to cut a corner, to tell a small lie for a quick, immediate gain, do you take it? Or do you fiercely protect your integrity, like the invaluable, irreplaceable asset it truly is? It's a vital question for all of us to ask ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, Focused Learners. I really hope this structured deep dive into the tiger and the wolf has given you a fresh, clear perspective on the true, lasting cost of deception. Until next time, keep analyzing and keep learning.